Welcome back to They Did What? Your source of the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today I got your story titled, Am I the a-hole for considering breaking up with my girl for what her grandparents said? And a shout out to Jacob for sending this story. And guys, this story is about a young guy, only 22 years old, who shows that you can only push a good guy too far until he's done. And when I say good guy, I'm not talking about like total pushover SIMP. I'm just talking about a guy who, is in a relationship, thought he should treat his girl well, and she takes advantage of that. You're going to see this is all about this girl and this male friend of hers, this male best friend named Alex. And there's all sorts of BS around there, and finally when push comes to shove, he is done. And this girl who treats him like crap can't believe it. She's floored because she thought he was the type of guy that would put up with her crap endlessly. Nope, not at all, and he has his moment. And I love a story where a guy's pushed too far and he is done and shocks the girl, thinks that he's some kind of permanent pushover. In these stories, these guys truly become R-pills and find their man card. And it's a darn good one here to prove many points. No male best friends. If you're dating a girl, guys, you have a good thing going, you're having fun, and she wants to be exclusive, but she's got male best friends or male friends, that ain't girlfriend material. And you can lay out boundaries about it, but the odds are she's not going to do that. Therefore, you then either cease seeing her or keep her in the friend zone, whatever. Also, about checking your girl. Your girl disrespects you. I can talk right today. Your girl disrespects you. You need to check her. You need to call her on that crap early on. Otherwise, that type of crap happens. And of course, last but not least, they lose it when guys break up with them. They can't take rejection, and it's pretty darn funny when these types lose it when they do. So it starts off, says here, I know this sounds weird, but hear me out. I'm posting this on an alternate account, so nobody I know can find it. I'm 22 and my girl is 22 as well, and we've been together for almost 2 years now. We met during freshman week at university and found out we were studying the same course. Our relationship has been running smoothly and we rarely argue. The one point that we do have an issue is with her boy best friend, who we will call Alex, a 23-year-old male. There should be no boy best friends, not in the equation, And you allow that, it's going to be a problem, and you're going to see. Well, Alex has been around longer than I have. He's known my girl for around 4 years now, and they attended the same high school together. I initially had no problem with Alex until he started making fun of my appearance and accent. Smack! Shouldn't have tolerated that, man. Probably early on, he's thinking, I got this girl, she's hot, I'll tolerate the guy because I'm getting laid. Nope. For context, I'm not bad looking, I'm 5'10", have a decent build, I've been working out for half a year now, and I have a good facial features. Alex has pointed out small things like the shape of my eyebrows, the way my hair gets messy, I have longer hair, and my accent. I'm Slavic and English is not my first language. He probably got this girl because of the accent, which usually happens. Sounds to me that Alex is jealous of this guy. Frankly, I would not be allowing this whole Alex in the picture here. I'd be establishing boundaries immediately. But also the fact is, anybody disrespects me, I'd be calling them on their shit. For the most part, my girl has defended me and called Alex out of his BS. But sometimes she will laugh at the things he says, particularly when he makes fun of my accent. This bothers me a lot, as I struggled with my English for a few months before. I have brought this up to her, and she apologized, but continues to do so. Well, you shouldn't tolerate that, man. Now, it's one thing if somebody is playfully joking around, but even playfully joking around after a while gets old, Now on to the issue. My girl and I recently went to visit her grandparents for the weekend. They are a pretty big part of her life. She was raised by them as well as her parents, and this was my first time meeting them. What? They've been together for 2 years. They're that important to her, and this is the first time she meets her grandparents? That ought to tell you something. Obviously, I'm sure Alex has met them. Her grandmother opened the door and greeted me with a big hug and proceeded to say, Alex, we've heard all about you. Alex? No, wrong name. What does that tell you, guys? I instantly assumed it was a mistake. Her grandma is old. Maybe it's a memory thing. And I corrected her and told her my real name. She frowned and shook her head and said that it couldn't be correct. The dinner was a bit awkward as both her grandparents kept referring to me as Alex. Good God. There's obviously a reason for this. My girl kept on correcting them, and they looked confused. After dinner, I politely asked my girlfriend why they continued to mix me up with Alex. She blew up at me, telling me they're old and struggle with memory loss. Unacceptable. He asked a simple question. He's being called Alex all night. He has a reason to bring this up, and she has no right to blow up at him. I've been like, you cut that shit out right now, or I'm walking. I'm out of here. I apologized and explained that I didn't mean to insult anybody. Smack! Why'd you apologize? He has nothing to apologize for. She's acting like an asshole. And there's a reason they're calling you Alex. See? I mentioned, guys, he's a bit of a nice guy. But our nice guy here is pushed too far eventually. I just want to know why they continue to call me Alex, even after correction. We left it at that and spent the night watching movies that her grandparents enjoyed. While I was setting up the bed in the spare room for me and my girl, when I overheard her grandma and her talking. My girlfriend was talking in a hushed tone about Alex. Her grandma kept asking why she didn't bring Alex along, like she said she would. I couldn't hear my girlfriend very well, but she told her grandma something came up, and so she brought me instead. So, you can see here, Alex is top priority. One could say, why is she dating this guy and has Alex? Well, this guy's probably the steady guy, our guy telling the story, and Alex is probably her fun on the side. And she probably likes two guys competing over her, as a lot of girls do. I wouldn't be tolerating this shit. I was surprised, as we had this trip planned for a couple weeks beforehand. I heard her grandma asking how Alex was doing and when they would get to see him again. I was really confused. I then asked my girl about it in bed, as she's insisted that her grandma just struggled with memory loss and didn't know what she was saying. I asked if she had planned to bring Alex at her grandparents' house, and if so, I would have no problem with it if she simply let me know. Well, she blew up at me, again, insisting I didn't understand her relationship with Alex. She called me a few petty names and told me to sleep on the pull-out couch, and I reluctantly agreed and laid awake all night thinking about the conversation. Smack! I would have been out of there. I would have been out of there early with her blow-up the first time. But after that, don't worry, guys, he comes into his own. He was a nice guy back then. When a girl disrespects you like that, obviously she doesn't really give a shit about you. And the more you put up with her crap, the more she's going to lose respect for you. They blow up at you like that, leave. And even if he was her ride there, who cares? She can get a ride home. Well, since then, my girl has been more irritable, and nothing I say makes her want to talk to me. So she's giving you the silent treatment, manipulation 101. She's been calling Alex regularly and refusing to tell me why she's so upset. Silent treatment. This is deeply confusing to me, as I didn't come across as insulting in any way. I've considered breaking up with her a couple times, as this behavior is completely out of the blue, and a refusal to communicate properly is worrying me. Any advice? Would I be the a-hole if I broke up with her? No, dude. I'd get rid of her. Something's clearly going on with Alex. And her treatment of you, not cool. He claims that this is the first time she's acting this way. I have a hard time believing that. I think there's always been little forms of disrespect that he just didn't know. We got a bunch of updates here. He says, thank you all for your replies and helped me realize that this was never just about her grandparents. My girlfriend's behavior is unacceptable. And I'll be having a talk with her tomorrow, which will ultimately end up splitting up with her. I'll post a short update tomorrow for anybody who's interested. There you go. Good for him. You know, a lot of guys like this would think about it for a while and everything like that. And obviously in his gut, he knew something was wrong. Now to his update. He says, hi, everybody. I'm writing this in my car about what just happened completely baffled me. My girlfriend got off work early and messaged me asking to come pick her up. Are you kidding me? She hasn't talked to him in days. She's been ignoring him. And then she calls him and said, can you come pick me up? What does that say? She thinks he's like her freaking manservant. She thinks he is so P-whip wrapped around her finger. Not good. Well, this is the first time she's messaged me in days. I agreed and drove to go pick her up. Now, I would be smacking him for that, but he's doing this so obviously he can break up with her. So, okay. Then again, well, yeah, smack. I was just broken up with her on the phone. Then to save himself some gas money. But anyhow. While I waited in the customer service section, she works in a bakery, and I noticed some of her coworkers giving me dirty looks, and I brushed it off. When she got out, she was quiet. She got in my car in a huff, and then asked if I could drive her to Alex's place, as him and some other friends were having a small gathering there. Talk about, again, trying to punish this guy. Come pick me up if I haven't talked to you in days, and then drive me to Alex's house. Uh-huh. I admit this annoyed me. I told her flat out we needed to talk and asked her if she wanted to go to my place to do so. She told me anything I had to say, I could say it now. See how she's trying to play hardball with him, assuming he'll just take it. So that's what I did. I told her her behavior over the past few days has been unacceptable. Her refusal to talk to me, how she blew up me for just asking simple questions, this is where the conversation got weird. She told me her grandparents had been waiting to meet Alex, and that's why they got confused. Much different to her loss of memory excuse in my earlier post. I asked her why she didn't just tell me that. She told me I wouldn't understand because I don't understand her relationship with Alex. See, she's changing the story. You just don't understand me because you don't care. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. I told her that yes, I do not understand her relationship with Alex, how she lets him insult me, and how she carries on defending him. She told me that people over here make fun of each other, and I wouldn't understand because my culture is different. He's like, what? Yeah, people can poke fun at each other in a playful way with people you care about. But there's a point when it's crossing the line. And her buddy Alex, who's probably her bed buddy, no, it's disrespect. And she allows that shit. But our guy here should have laid down the law early on. I told her that regardless of my culture, I wouldn't tolerate the disrespect from her friend, and the lying has led me to believe she is no longer trustworthy. I told her I've given her zero reason to lie to me. She started crying and promising me that nothing was going on between her and Alex. Hobag Handbook Chapter 2. Bring on the tears. She can sense this isn't going well for her. So the tears. And most guys would fall for the fucking crocodile tears. I was stunned, as this isn't what I implied at all. I asked her why she said that, and she broke down and admitted that Alex has been pressuring her to leave me for months, saying she deserved better than someone like me. At this point I was done. I don't need this kind of drama. Damn right, brother, you don't need this kind of drama. You're 22. You got a whole lot of other important things in your life to work on than this childish crap. I definitely think there's something going on with her Alex. I definitely think Alex is jealous of this guy because he's behaving like that. But regardless, life's too short. I told her to get out of my car and we are done. Yes, hallelujah. The nice guy grew a pair. It was always there. You know, again, guys, he did some things. I smacked him. And I know you were probably rolling your eyes and smacking him too. But many of you probably liked him before. He was treating her like a human being and thought he was being patient with her and all that. Unacceptable that she was doing that crap. He's done. And usually guys like this, when they're done, they're done. And there ain't no coming back. Well, watch how she reacts in the rest of the story here. She was crying and begged me not to leave her. Promised she cut Alex out of her life. Promised that the relationship was nothing but friendship. And I said, I don't care. I want no part of this anymore. And strangely, I didn't really feel sad ending the relationship. I actually felt pretty numb. He's one of those guys. Most guys will feel the roller coaster of emotions. They'll know they need to end it, but they still feel sad. This guy, nope. He's done. He realized how bad it was. Her attitude suddenly shifted. She hit my arm and told me I just didn't understand. And that Alex was right. She should have left me sooner. I just told her to get the fuck out of my car. She was still crying, and she slammed the door pretty hard and stormed off. Oh, poor baby. She wasn't expecting that. She was expecting him to drive her to Alex's house, and she could make him look bad and all that. Nope. Good for him. We're not done. Now she's texting me, apologizing and promised we could work this out. Look what happens when a man grows a pair and puts a girl in his place. Or better yet, kicks her to the curb. I'm telling you guys. I've had a couple of texts from mutual friends asking what happened, as my girlfriend sent them texts calling me controlling and toxic. Because he broke up with her because she's an asshole. Instantly controlling and toxic. Remember, guys, how many of you guys have been out on dates or talked to girls about what happened to their past husband, boyfriends, whatever, and always the guy's toxic or controlling or abusive? Always. Like, what did you do? It takes two to tango. It takes two to, I didn't do anything. He says, why would she want to get back together with me if she's telling her friends that? I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I'm now writing this update. I don't feel sad right now, but maybe that's because I'm in shock. I wrote this update for the people who gave me the courage to leave this relationship. Thank you for your advice. Well, good to the Reddit folks, because usually there are a lot of Reddit wackos out there. Well, now we're on to the final part, and this was, what I'm about to read is 5 days after this incident. This happens at a Halloween party. This is good. He says, well, I told our mutual friends the story and shared this post with them, and they said they always found her relationship with Alex weird. I also shared with them the text my ex-girlfriend was sending me. They were immediately pissed that she was trying to play them like fools. None of our mutual friends took my ex-girlfriend's side. Yet, all of them apologized to me for the unnecessary drama that she was causing, and they said they were going to keep their distance. Well, that's good. Something tells me these friends probably have seen her drama before. A couple of our friends, we're a big group, who did not reach out have blocked me on social media. I guess the trash took itself out. There you go. Yeah, they're not your friends. For now, I'm feeling good. I've been hanging out with my cats and ordering takeout food. Hey, a cat brother. Good for him. My roommate gets back from his parents' house tomorrow, so I'll update him on the situation when I can ask him to be there when my ex-girlfriend collects her stuff. As for my ex, I sent her a text message telling her to only contact me when she's going to collect her things. I muted her texts and calls and will only check again when she's due to come and get her things. Once that's over, I will block her. Good for him. I'm guessing, obviously, his girlfriend doesn't live with him, but she's there so often that she probably has a lot of shit there. The longer you're with a girlfriend, and I know many of you guys know this, and you're not living together, because why should you unless you're planning to get married? And why would you get married nowadays? The more and more shit she's going to have at your house. It's marking her fucking territory. You know? It's like a dog taking a piss, marking the territory. Well, hopefully she's not taking a piss in his house. But she puts her stuff everywhere. Her clothes, her bras, her shoes, jewelry, makeup, toothbrush, all that. Well, I'm feeling pretty good about my decision now. Thank you all for the comments. I'll respond as many as I can. I may have another small update on the weekend as my ex-girl and I, attend the same house party for Halloween. For now, take care, blah, blah, blah. Okay, my bad. That was a mini update. Now is the actual update 5 days later on Halloween. Let's see if she's accepted the fact that she's been dumped. He says here, so if you keep me up with my post, I will let you know that I'm 22, blah, 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 blah. And, well, that's a bunch of updates. You all know what's going on. He says, so my ex came to collect her stuff on Friday morning, and all was mostly well. There were a few tears here and there, but my ex collected her things, and my roommate was a witness. Good. I'm glad he had a witness there. Very smart. Anyway, that night there was a Halloween party. I went dressed as Mesmer, whatever the fuck that is. And my friend who was also attending the party dropped me off, and for the first couple hours, I had a great time. Then my ex and Alex showed up around 8 p.m., dressed in matching costumes, Catwoman and Batman. Whatever, it didn't bother me. I continued chatting with friends and drinking. It drives me crazy when people dress up the couples, they dress up the same or do that type of shit. Here's where it all went downhill. Well, that's what we're here for. Alex approached me and asked to talk in private. I'd be like, go fuck yourself. I've been dealing with your ass for 2 years. Go fuck Robin, asshole. I obviously refused. I want nothing to do with him. He kept on insisting, begging me to hear him out. Begging him? I told him no and to leave me alone. As I walked away, he told me my ex missed me and wanted to talk. So, she's all yours, Alex. This shouldn't have been my first red flag, but I ignored it. I went to talk with one of my female friends and her boyfriend. Well, he got us drinks, and we talked for a while and drank and had a good time. Then my ex approached me. She looked tired and teary-eyed. She grabs my arm and begs me to talk to her. See, guys? They can't take rejection. She thought that this dude telling the story was going to be her guy that she can push around, keep just to be her relationship guy, and go have fun with Alex or anybody else on the side. I gently move away and tell her no. My friends back me up, telling her to go away. Well, she doesn't go away. Keeps on grabbing my arm and begging me to talk, crying now. The waterworks again. Unfortunately, my friend started to feel really ill, so her boyfriend took her to the bathroom. As I was now alone with my ex, I tried to move away. She grabbed my hand and tried to lead me away. I shook her off and told her to leave me alone. She started ranting, saying Alex was a manipulative piece of crap, and she's been meaning to cut him off for ages. He says, BS in my opinion, they showed up in matching costumes. She is a pathological liar. Really, Alex, who the grandparents know and who she defends and spends time with, all of a sudden she's meaning to cut him off all along? Wrong. They came in a matching costume, for Christ's sake. I said, okay, she can do that, but I won't change where we're split up, and I will not consider any contact or relationship in the future. Man, this guy's awesome. He went from being the good guy and being patient with her and letting her have her little blow-ups at grandparents' house to literally like, get the fuck away from me. We're done. I love it. Well, she got visibly annoyed. I decided to leave the party early as I had a bad feeling about all this and was uncomfortable. Well, I went to find the host to thank him for the party and say my goodbyes. That is when my ex found me again and cornered me. This is hard to admit, but she put her arms around my neck and tried to kiss me. And then she proceeded to try and touch me. Touch you? Touch you where exactly? She kept whispering that this wasn't over and we were still a couple. I want to pause here for a second, guys. Maybe say what some of you are thinking here. If a guy did this to a girl, they broke up, she broke up with a guy, and he kept grabbing her hand and pulling her towards him, and then he put his arm around her and tried to kiss the girl. You know how that would be taken. That would be taken as S-word assault. And all sorts of things, but a girl could do it to a guy. Well, I froze up for a couple of moments and then roughly pushed her away and told her to get the fuck off me, and she was crazy. Hear that? Now, it's warranted that he finally, after she won't leave him alone, has been grabbing and manhandling, push her away, shove her away. The problem is that could get him in trouble. I admit I got really angry, I was in shock and felt disgusted. She started crying, calling me unstable. Bet you're the one that's crying and freaking out here. I didn't care at all and stormed out of the party, called a taxi and went home. Well, that night was really difficult. I texted my friend who I had come to the party with to let him know I left and what had happened, and he was furious with my ex. It's a shame that chick ruined the Halloween party, you know? Well, since Friday, I've been in a tough state. A few had messaged me, who I need to get back to, and told me what I experienced was S-word assault. That didn't register at the time, but I guess it's starting to. On Saturday, a lot of my friends messaged me, and they had found out what had happened, presumably from my friend, and were incredibly supportive. They cut off my ex, and I'm glad to have them on my side. A few of them suggested filing a report, but I don't even know how that works if I'm ready to do that. Alex tried to reach out to me again through social media, but I blocked his account. I don't care what he or my ex have to say. Good God, these two are relentless. Thank you all for the kind words you have sent since my last post, and for those who saw my deleted post and sent me advice. I don't think I'll have another update unless I file a report and see if there are any developments in my situation. I'm terrified to see my ex on Monday in class. I will admit I don't know how to handle all this. So guys, there you go. That is what you do. That's what happens when guys push too far. And it's pretty amazing to me if guys understood that, where if you're being mistreated by your girlfriend or a girl you're dating, like the shit she was doing early on, and you stand up for yourself, put in her place, even if she gets huffy, even if she gets pissy, you do that, she's going to respect you and see you as a man, because a man does not allow himself to be belittled and treated like dog crap. The problem is most guys are nice guys and don't want to fight and all that and think that that'll ruin things. And they put up a lot of shit until finally they're done. And then they break up with the girl, stand up for themselves, all that. And then all of a sudden, then she's kissing his ass and begging him back and all that for reasons we can debate or probably aren't very genuine. But the point is, look what happened here, right? So if more men actually stood up for themselves and checked the girl on her bullshit, because I guarantee you, Alex, not Alex, because I think Alex is probably like her friend zone guy type of thing. But then again, you never know. Bad boys or men that have options, they don't tolerate shit. They don't tolerate being belittled or bitched at, or, you know, if the girl's giving the silent treatment, they'll either break up with her and be like, fuck you, I'll go bang your friend or your sister. Really. So I'm glad he did that. He made mistakes in the beginning, which a lot of guys do, but he did what was important when it counted, and that's the big thing. But again, let's review what we learned here. No guy friends. No guys you hang out with, no male best friends leads to trouble. Because usually those guys are just waiting around for their turn, you know? Or they are her turn regularly. Also, the fact is, you check your girl. I explained the whole part and how they cannot take rejection and being broken up with. The more they see themselves as the queen and you as the peasant, when you break up with them, and they usually either become obsessed with you, obsessed to get you back because they can't take the rejection, or they become full-on psycho, and the next thing you know, you better watch your cats. So, good for him. And as for school and everything, he'll be fine. Just roll with it. But I don't think this is over, and if there's any updates, I'll let you all know. Alright guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.